Day 3, welcome. If you actually made it this far, I'm actually proud of you, man, because most people probably quit on day 1, but you're here because you truly want to succeed. Today, we want to talk about audience trust. Audience trust, man. This is so crucial. If you don't have audience trust, people won't buy. But obviously, if you have audience trust, people buy and people want to buy. People actually want to buy from you because they trust you. They think that they're going to get something in return, which they will. But you have to build that trust. How do you actually build that trust? First, we have to talk about positioning. Okay? Remember the day 2 when we talked about the niche. Okay, remember, your niche, whatever it was now. Okay, whatever you chose now. Let's say, hypothetically, you chose trading. You're the trading coach now. What do you have to do to build that trust, that audience trust, that positioning? Well, obviously, it's simple. You have to consistently post trading content, trading related content, and you have to position yourself as the expert. Okay, this is you. You are the expert. You have the magic wand of turning people profitable here and there. Boom, 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 boom. And you know your shit. You know what you're doing. That's why you have to consistently post and you have to talk in a way. This is very crucial. You have to talk in a way that people know that you are the expert. People start to realize that this guy knows what he's talking about. He's the expert. He's not a student. Now, obviously, don't get me wrong. If you're not actually an expert, then maybe you should position as yourself who's still learning, going through it all, and still becoming profitable at trading or e-commerce or whatever you're doing. But if you actually want to make this shit where you actually want to sell, then you have to position yourself as the expert. This is very crucial because people will only pay, they will buy your mentorship if they see you as the expert who can transform the beginners or unprofitable traders or unprofitable e-commerce stores owner's life. Okay? You have to transform their life. That's why you have to position yourself as the expert. Now, the second thing that we have to talk about is proof. Again, this is very crucial. If there's no proof, how can people know that you're the expert? How can people trust you? Well, what proof can you provide to these people? Well, if you are a fitness coach, maybe you can show your own results. Let's say you were fat. Let's say you teach people how to go from fat to fit. You show your own transformation, especially in the beginning. This was you, let's say 6 months ago. And now you have a 6-pack. You are at the peak of your life, physique. It's good. Okay? You can show them proof of yourself. Now, this should be in the beginning as well. You have to show proof of your own results. Now, this isn't the only thing. You also have to show proof in your videos in a way that you show your expertise. When I was teaching people how to trade, I used to be recording videos of me literally teaching people step by step. First, you have to find the liquidity, then you have to find the breakup structure, then you have to find this, and then you have to find that. Step by step. People start to realize that you know what you're talking about. You're not mumbling. You're just not talking shit. You actually show them that you know what you're talking about. And now I'm teaching people how to build a profitable info business pretty much from scratch and how to scale it. Okay? Super simple. You have to show people that you know what you're doing. Step by step, you can post those educational videos. That's very powerful. And also, let's say if you're a fitness coach, you teach people how to build a crazy physique, then you can post your workout routines step by step, know what you're doing, and obviously you can show your physique. It's very simple, guys, very simple. Don't overthink it, don't overcomplicate it, and don't try to be perfect. Just make those educational videos here and there. I mean, you should post them a lot. And naturally, when you start acquiring those students, when you start getting clients, make sure that they get the best results so you can show their proof as well. This literally makes the people, your audience, trust you more because they're like, if Matches got results, this is an example, then why not me? If your students got results, then why shouldn't I buy from you? Because I want to get the same results. I want to get the same exact transformation. You get the point? Always make sure to post proof of everything. I usually like to post my student results on Instagram, email, to really promote that shit. Number 3, personal stories. You have to always make sure that you post your personal stories. You tell people about your past, because that builds that human connection with your audience. Like, they start to trust you. They start to like, wow, this guy is real. He has personal stories. Remember in the first episode when I mentioned that I used to be struggling, okay? I used to be struggling and I used to be flipping them hamburgers for $9 an hour. Remember when I said it in the day 1 bootcamp episode, okay? And that builds audience trust, obviously. That builds that history, and that builds that relatability. Relatability is very important. Now, let's say you have an e-commerce store right here. You have an e-commerce store. You're teaching people how to make money on Shopify. Okay, you have an e-commerce store. You can mention the times when you couldn't even figure out how to do ads, and now you've progressed so much that you're spending fucking $5K daily on ads. And the reason why telling your own personal stories is super important is because we're humans at the end of the day. We like to follow along when there is a personal story involved. Like, it's easier to listen to someone when he's telling a story. That's why all the book authors take advantage of this. They tell stories, personal stories, the ups and downs, because that builds that trust, and it's super important. And that's why you have to also take advantage of that in your personal brand to make a lot of money eventually. Next up, we have niche clarity. This is super, super important. I think I mentioned this in the previous episode, but this is so important. Without this, you cannot sell nor build trust, okay? Now, let's say your transformation, the problem that you solved in your life was you went from fat to fit, okay? This was you before fat, and then you went from this fat to a fit person, okay? Obviously, you shouldn't position yourself as a guy who teaches fitness in general. You're not gonna say, I teach you fitness. I teach you how to become great at fitness. You're gonna say, I will help you go from fat to fit. And the reason why that is so powerful, because that makes you an authority. That again strengthens your positioning in your personal brand. And it's easy to sell high tickets, to be specific, because that's gonna attract those people who are actually fat and they want to go from fat to fit, instead of just teaching some general fitness advice or positioning yourself as the fitness guru or whatever. You have to be specific with this, okay? Fat to fit. And the reason why this time period is super important, because this builds that transformation program vibe, okay? People don't just buy because they want to learn. They want to get that transformation eventually. That's why positioning and niche clarity is super important if you want to build trust and sell high ticket and sell anything in general. Because remember, don't be the guy who teaches people about everything, fitness in general, etc., etc. My first niche ever was in the trading niche. But instead of me just teaching trading in general to people, my positioning was simple. My niche clarity was simple. I personally went from unprofitable to profitable. So obviously I'm going to teach people how to go from unprofitable trader to profitable trader within 90 days. Okay, that was the program for me. That what I used to be selling, and that made me a lot of money because of that. Okay, it's very important. That allowed me to get those people who have problems in the mentorship, so they're gonna obviously pay. That's why you have to be specific when you are talking about your niche, your positioning. Don't just be the general guy. Don't just talk about everything, because if you try to help everyone, you're selling to no one. Now, quickly, day 3 wrapped up. Firstly, we talked about positioning, meaning that you have to always position yourself as the expert, as the guy who knows what he's doing. You are the expert of X, your niche, right? You are the trader guy. You are the e-com guy. You are the fitness guy who knows how to build six packs. You get the point. And obviously, we have the proof. You have to always show proof of everything, okay? Proof of your own success, your students' results, also recording educational videos that show your expertise in that field. Obviously, always share personal stories. This is super powerful because we're humans at the end of the day. That builds trust. That obviously makes people understand that you're also a human who went through pain and now he's successful at the thing that he's talking about. Niche clarity. Don't try to help everyone. Help a specific avatar who need to get a specific problem, a specific specific pain point fixed. And a bonus point that builds trust immediately is consistency. Consistency. Stay consistent at posting. Stay consistent in everything, every aspect that you do in your personal brand, because that brings trust naturally. Now, if you want to become my student, my next success story, then book a free call for coaching, and the link is going to be found in the description down below. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.